Why are neighborhoods important? Why should we, as individuals, share a responsibility to our neighborhood, city, province, and country? Because we are all a part of the link that unites us from the Atlantic coast to the mountains of the Pacific. With that philosophy in mind, iCan emerged. Formerly the Canadian Charity Association, iCan is now the International Charity Association Network and is the recipient of the 2006 Champions of Digital Literacy Award. This is international recognition in the strength of iCan's 6 core values. A person cannot learn if he or she is hungry or is worried that his or her family is hungry. Digital literacy is an essential building block for the growth of a person, the community, and the nation. The problem is not the lack of resources to achieve digital literacy, it is the lack of access to them. Achieving digital literacy empowers people to cross the divides of race, color, religion, and nationalities. Digital literate youth have access to a huge range of alternatives to crime and delinquency. Digital literacy is a right, not a privilege.
The reason we looked at changing our name was that Canadian Charity Association did not reflect our international presence. We're being approached by numerous countries to duplicate our supply chain management, food safety programs that we've developed over the last 6 years within iCan. So we've done that to ensure that it shows an international presence, but never forgetting that in iCan, Canadians are first.
So here we are at the headquarters for iCan, which is where all the activity comes together, where all those member charities come to learn and benefit on the iCan mission. Tell me a little bit more about the growth.
Well, we're now growing, as of today, we're 327 charities. We're getting an average of 2 organizations calling us every day because the need has increased exponentially. They're always looking for things such as food, clothing, our educational materials, computers, the breakfast and snack programs that we assist with, but we're noticing the need has just increased tremendously.
And you know, I can only say that it has because we're now in the warehouse, the epicenter for iCan, where all the donations, the gifts in kind from donations from across the country, from Canadians, end up.
As of 2005, over 823,000 people per month used food banks in this country, equivalent to the combined population of Newfoundland, Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Northwest Territories, Yukon, and Nunavut. In the 16 years since the federal government promised to eliminate child poverty, the percentage of children using food banks has risen to 40%. iCan has, from its inception, strived to be a charity on demand, ready to fill any need, and has recognized that the cycle of poverty is directly associated with a lack of education, which in turn can be linked to the hunger that many children deal with daily. And in our society, 1 child in 3 goes to school hungry every day. This is why iCan's goal is to feed the mind as well as the body.
We can provide them with computers, with learning courseware, which is a valuable tool that is very much needed in communities where there are a lot of at-risk people.
Through iCan's innovative computer centers and learning courseware, they have broken the cycle of poverty, hunger, and poor education. In its first year of operation, iCan's flagship center in Toronto helped over 20,000 people in their facility and can report that over 175 people found employment. That is how a community grows.
Being here now at the Jamestown Center, we're right in the center of one of the top 13 at-risk neighborhoods.
Right.
Where the kind of traffic is a little bit different in the center. Unlike other centers where there's, newly arriving Canadians or people who've just lost their jobs and searching for education, this one serves a multitude of different purposes.
With 40 centers already open, iCan is set to expand even further throughout the country in an ambitious effort to open a total of 100 computer centers.
Being from Manitoba, we're very proud of what we have here in Winnipeg, and seeing what I've seen in the last couple of years with the growth that's happened with Teen Stop Jeunesse and others like it. It got us excited as retired business people, and I have a network of professionals that work with me, some of them part-time, some of them almost on a full-time basis, all committed to raising funds with the idea of building computer centers, supplying equipment, supplying training for people that really need it.
And then of course you've got the advent of the computer now, where you don't know how to work a computer. First of all, you're not going to get through high school. Second of all, you're not going to get a job, or you won't even be able to look for a job anymore. Everything is just so computerized. And without them, we would not be able to service our community as well as we do. And
so tell me the kind of students or the kind of folks that drop in the center and actually use these computers right here in Manitoba.
Well, the computer lab that we're in right now is part of the job reentry and literacy program that are in the building. They primarily are catering to new immigrants. There's a huge population now in this area of new immigrants. They will have an enrollment of about 125 to 150 per year, and it's a one-year program that they are in for the job reentry program. Incredible. They turn out so many people that end up getting jobs. You know, that because they introduce them to the job market, they introduce them to different jobs through job training, they introduce them to the computers and give them those skills so that they can not only research while they're here, but as they, for instance, get their first job and are able to get their own computer, they can now research new jobs as well.
Why have computer centers reaching 60, 70, 80 in numbers? Why open up so many?
You and I may take it for granted, but there's a considerable amount, a large percentage of the population that does not have access to technology. And they don't know, and they're so intimidated by this, what we call the digital divide. We provide these centers at no cost to anyone that walks in, but simply has the desire and the wanting to learn and better themselves in either a small thing or a big thing.
With their expansive warehouse of donated goods, food bank resources, and over 200 volunteers, iCan is feeding the soul. With courseware donations growing and computer centers opening at an ever-expanding number, iCan is able to feed the mind. Person by person, community by community, and to the country at large, iCan knows what it means to be a part of a neighborhood, and they look to you to join in.